In 2020, the Fed and Jerome Powell absolutely slashed interest rates and made the money printer go. And because they did that, your high yield savings account earned virtually no money. Usually it got around 0.5%, which is still a lot better than the national average for a bank. But now interest rates are a lot higher. So in today's video, I'm gonna go over 5 banks that you should put your money in so you can actually earn some interest. Typically, when you give a bank fat stacks of your real money, like this real money is right here, they will take it and then they will lend it out to other people and make roughly 5 or 6% on that money, or depending on the interest rate that they're giving that person. But in return, they'll give you maybe a measly 0.1%, which is absolutely awful for the amount of money that they are earning with your money. So take that money that's in your checking account and instead put it in a high yield savings account so that you can earn roughly 3 to 4% interest with today's interest rates. The reason why a lot of these high yield savings accounts will have such a higher amount of interest that you can earn with your money when you put your money into that account is because they don't have typical brick and mortar stores. Some of them do, but their specific savings account portion of that bank does not need for you the ability to withdraw that money. So typically if you're putting money in these high yield savings account, you couldn't have some type of debit card or something to be able to actually withdraw money from there. What you would have to do is take that money and then link it to an account that you actually want to spend money with. But because this is a savings account for you, hopefully you're not really touching that money and you're saving up to buy a bunch of rental properties, and you're learning how to do that because you're watching my channel. I personally keep money in 2 of these 5 institutions that I'm going to talk about, and specifically their high yield savings accounts. And there's so many options for you to choose from out there, and most of them are going to be pretty similar but have a few different flavors. So I don't really think there's a wrong choice, probably a few wrong choices, but things you want to look out for is to make sure they're FDIC insured and that you can actually withdraw your money from them, and that they probably give one of, if not the highest amount of yield that you could earn on your money. 3 things that you should know about the video is that it is current as of today, and looking at my wrist, it is currently today. So if you're watching this video a year from now, the information may not be as current or as relevant as it was today. The other thing to know is that I am not sponsored by any of these banks, although I may list a few referral links in the description below, because just like any other customer out there, you can refer someone to these specific banks and they may offer a little bit of a higher yield for a few months. For example, my Marcus Goldman Sachs, which I use, you can utilize my link and then you earn an extra 0.3% for a few months, or maybe it's 1% for 3 months, and I also earn an extra 1% for 3 months. So if you want to earn some extra money, help out the channel, that would be awesome. And the third thing to know is that you should like the video. The first bank where you should keep all of your money, let them have it, and nothing could go wrong would be Wells Fargo. Imagine if I actually said that. The first bank would actually be SoFi. SoFi has become a lot more popular over the recent years because they do a whole swath of things and a lot of millennials and other people really like them, and it can be a great institution for you to actually keep their money. But today we're just going to be talking about the high yield savings account, so let's look at some of the numbers. As far as the numbers go, SoFi currently offers you a 3.75% rate, which is pretty good. And this is actually one of the fewer banks that you could utilize a debit card and actually take some of your money out, which I'm not as big of a fan of. But it does allow you to have a few other benefits, namely their vault option as well as their roundup feature. The way this works is if you spend money with your SoFi debit card, and let's say it's $3.43, it will round up to $4 and put that excess difference into one of the specific earmarked accounts, also known as your vault. And your vaults are pretty simple. Let's say you want to save for a rental property, a vacation, and maybe college tuition or some other type of saving goal that you might have. And you have these different vaults where you can save up to that specific amount. So every time that you are spending money and you utilize that roundup feature, you can have it set to a specific vault or goal that you're trying to reach. The other thing about the SoFi accounts to know is there is no minimum. Sometimes accounts have minimums of amount of money that you could put in. And they also offer a special where you can get $250 bonus offer if you deposit $5,000, and there's probably a few other terms like length of the amount of time that you have to keep your money in the account. Ally is another very popular high yield savings account, and currently it offers a 3.3% yield. Ally has some similar features to that of SoFi, but obviously at a slightly lower rate, and some of those features are the buckets, which are quite similar to the vault, so you can save up for specific things, and it also has that roundup feature. But one feature that it has that I don't know if I like or dislike would be their automatic savings feature. They call it surprise savings, which is probably an appropriate name because it will analyze all of your spending habits with your regular account and then just add some money to your savings really without you knowing or thinking about it. And this can be good because if you're not someone who is typically good at saving, it will just automatically add some money to your savings account and try to pay yourself first, which is what you should be doing. But a lot of people don't realize how much money that they have or that they could be saving money, so they're not going to automatically do that. So Ally is essentially trying to do that for you. But if you have other emergency expenses or need access to that money because something is going wrong and it has randomly just moved to your savings account for you and it maybe takes time to go back to your checking, then you might be SOL. The third one would be CapitalOne, and CapitalOne is a very large banking institution. They have some fantastic credit cards, and now they have this high yield savings account where you can earn 3.3%. And I actually just opened one of these and I started putting all of my rental property reserves into this account so that I could earn this 3.3% and not just having it sit in some type of bank account doing nothing. CapitalOne also has no minimums, no fees, but there are no bonuses. I would say that it's been just fine. It's not the most intuitive or easy to use feature. Actually, when I was adding my bank account, it took about a week before I could actually have that bank account send the money, and the transaction was just sitting and sitting and sitting, and it kept moving day and day and day. So I called CapitalOne and wondered what the heck was happening, and they told me I had to go into my profile and accept the new bank that I added, which I had never actually had that happen before when I'm adding a bank to anything to be able to transfer money. Usually it just happens automatically, and so they pretty much just sent you a couple of cents and then they withdrew some of those cents and you had to type that number in. I've had that happen before actually on Vanguard, but in this scenario it didn't actually say, nor did I get an email telling me that I needed to do those things. It was an easy fix, but it was a little bit annoying, so that knocked me down a little bit on what I thought about them. Other than that though, been a fine place to keep my money, and it's earning some more money. The fourth one would be Marcus Goldman Sachs, and this one is my favorite, probably just because I've been using it forever, and because I'm a millennial and a young person. Forever for me means 4 years. So I started utilizing this savings account when I started saving for my first rental property, because at the time I think it offered like a 2% interest, so that was very cool compared to just leaving my money in a regular bank account. Today it offers 3.3%, and I actually just got an email yesterday saying it's going up to 3.5%, which is pretty awesome. And because I have a referral link with Marcus, and again, anyone can use this referral link, it is not affiliate marketing, I get an extra 1% yield for every person who signs up, and that lasts 3 months, and a few people sign up from time to time because I mentioned this specific savings account. So if you want to get that extra 1% for 3 months, go ahead, scroll down and open your account today. I really like Marcus because it just is a really friendly user face. It's super easy to take my money out, put it in, add a bank account, and I've really had no issues with it. Right now they also offer a sign-up bonus. I forget what it is. I think it's about $150, and you have to keep your money in there for, I think it's about 90 days, and it has to be maybe $5,000 or $10,000. So maybe not the most achievable for everyone, but still a good place to keep your money even if you don't get the bonus. The other thing that I've really enjoyed about Marcus is because often I will keep my money in there that I'm saving for a rental property, and sometimes you might go under agreement on a rental property and the money isn't in your checking account, but typically you might have a day before you have to put down earnest money or other deposits. So usually I will get under contract, move that money, and it usually only takes about a day, if not less than a day, which is pretty quick compared to some other ACH transfers that you may have to do. The fifth and final bank account that I'm going to talk about today where you could put your money would be the Lending Club High Yield Savings Account. The Lending Club High Yield Savings Account comes in at our winner with the highest yield that you could receive at 4%. That 4% that you receive from the Lending Club High Yield Savings Account will be credited to your account monthly, which is similar to all of these other accounts. At the end of each month, you're going to receive a statement and you're going to get a little bit more money into your savings account. The other thing to note that I have not said throughout this entire video is that any of these earnings will be taxed, so make sure that you're not spending it all, but that should be okay because theoretically you're saving it all in a savings account. The other things that the Lending Club High Yield Savings Account offer are the fact that you get credited monthly. Many of these accounts actually have this, so let's say you earn an annual 3% yield, you have $10,000 in there, you earn $300 over the year. Those $300 are dispersed over 10 months. And obviously it's going to be a little bit higher because every month you're earning a little bit. So now after month one, you're earning on $10,010, let's say, and it'll earn off of that and that. So you can earn a little bit more money over time rather than if it was just credited at the end of the year. And the other thing to know is you will receive a statement, and any of this money that is earned, you will be taxed on, but that theoretically should be okay because you're saving it. So when you're paying taxes on some of this interest, you should have it available. The other thing the account offers would be a debit card, but hopefully you're not actually using this because this debit card that you're going to be getting would take money out of your savings that you're using to invest more into rental properties or other type of investments that you're researching when you're just trying to get that money to earn a little bit of money in the short term. So theoretically, you shouldn't be using that debit card. The other thing that the account has is that it has a $100 minimum. Now, that's not necessarily the highest number, but it is more than zero. The The one thing that I dislike about this particular high yield savings account that would impact me, for example, I recently had to move over about $50,000 because I was purchasing a property, is there is a 10K daily limit on the amount of money that you can actually transfer. So with Marcus, when I transferred my money, my $50,000, not a big deal. With this specific high yield savings account, it would be a big deal. There you have it. Those are all 5 bank accounts that I'm going to discuss today, and there are plenty of other ones like Discover, Amex Savings, and so many others that I'm not going to go through today. And really why I wanted to say that point is there's going to be a lot of options. Just like everything today or everything in life, there's so many specific things that you could pick, and people get analysis paralysis. They don't know what to do, but really just pick one, go with it, and see how your experience is. I have the Marcus one and I have the CapitalOne one, and I pretty much just picked them because they were the first couple of ones that I saw or heard about, and they were easy to sign up for. Any of these shouldn't take you more than 5 to 10 minutes, so it's something that you should be able to set your money up in. And if you don't like your ultimate decision, then you can move your money. But I will ask you, if you're going to utilize Marcus, to please use my link because that would help me. And I would also ask you to subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about personal finance and achieving financial freedom. And while your money's earning more money, you can watch my videos and learn how to do those few things. And if you guys like me here, don't forget to check me out and follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Would be much appreciated. So thanks again for watching, and more wealth is coming your way.